Hello, our dear students. We'll be together with the 8th graders in this lesson, and we are going to revise the first 5 units of the first term. So, the units' name are Friendship, Teen Life, In the Kitchen, On the Phone, and the Internet. Okay, let's start with the first unit, Unit 1, Friendship. In this lesson, you will remember the most important vocabulary of the units. You will remember the grammar points of the units. And you're going to see some sample question types related to the units. And guys, remember, this is just a reminder. And make sure you know all the vocabulary lists that are given by your teachers. And see as many questions as possible. So this may be a chance to revise just 5 units, not more. And remember, you can do it in any way. Okay, let's start with the first unit, Unit 1, Friendship. So we're going to see some vocabulary here together. So you will revise the vocabulary. Okay, buddy. What is buddy? Buddy is your best friend, the close friends you are talking about here. Okay? So the next one is support. When you have a good friend, you should support your friend. So honest, being honest means telling always the truth. So you should be honest. And get on well, that means you have a good relationship with your friends. Share, I think this is the word that you mostly use, especially in the internet. So you share your secrets, for example, with your friends. And count on, that means back up, okay? You should trust your friends. And the other one is argue. Even if you are a good friend, you sometimes argue. That means you have a very short discussion. So feeling blue, it's a phrase actually, and it means feeling sorry. And respect, so you should love someone, but one of the most important things is you should respect the people around you, especially you should respect the older people. And the other one is to apologize. That means to say that you are sorry. And the other one is chit-chatting. It's a kind of chatting or talking about some unimportant things, about the weather, for example. And the last word is the reunion. After you have graduated from a high school or a university, if you come up or meet up with your friends, that means that you organize a reunion. So these were the vocabulary that we have covered in the first unit. Now, make sure you know the synonyms, that means the same meanings, and the antonyms, that means the opposites, and important expressions related to the friendship. So in this unit, we have got 2 different types of vocabulary. The vocabularies related with the friendship and the activities we do together. For example, going to a cinema or having a picnic, something like that. Please check your vocabulary list again here. So let's check out some words which are synonyms and antonyms. For example, the first one is friend, or in other words, buddy, or you can also say mate. Or best friend, instead of using best friend, you can use close friend. Or support, in other words, backup, in other words, it means help. And count on, that means, as you can see, trust or rely on. You want to rely on or you want to count on your best friends. So come over or come round, visiting someone without any plan. Now the antonyms, that means the opposites, okay? So if you are busy, that means you have lots of work to do. But just the opposite of busy is free. That means you have nothing to do. And honest, as I said before, telling the truth. If you are a dishonest person, and don't be a dishonest person, by the way, you are telling lies, okay, misleading the people. And respect, yeah, we should respect the older people. And disrespect is just the opposite of the word respect. So we are also using some useful expressions in this unit. For example, what about, how about, why don't we? Okay, these are the phrases or the structures that we use while we are making suggestions. Or would you like to also, for example, or fancy doing something. For example, you can just make an invitation to one of your friends by using fancy going to the cinema together. Or you can count on him or her. As I said before, you want to trust, you want to count on your friends. Or not at all structure. For example, one of your friends can ask you, are you busy on Saturday night? If you have no plans, you can just answer, no, not at all. I have nothing to do. On the other hand, he or she is here for me. That means when you have a good friend, when you are in trouble, that your friend should be here with you. And the other structure is, I am sorry, but I can't make it. Again, one of your friends is asking something to you, or he or she is inviting you. And you say, I'm sorry, but I can't make it. That means, sorry, I can't go anywhere. Why not? As it is seen a negative answer, actually, why not is a positive answer, okay? For example, let's go to the cinema. Yeah, why not? It means accepting an invitation. Or I would love to, sure, sounds awesome. They are all accepting an invitation. So let's look at some examples about Unit 1. For example, Sarah is my buddy. That means Sarah is my best friend or close friend. Because, so we are looking for something positive here. Here it is. It is difficult to count on her. So if something is difficult to count on your friend, so he or she cannot be your best friend. Or we never get on well. Wow, that means you have a bad relationship. She can or he cannot be your buddy. She backs me up all the time. Yeah, there's a positive thing in this option, so keep it in mind. And we share hardly anything in common. Hardly anything, that means almost never. So in this question, as we are looking for a positive quality, that is in the option C, right? So be careful about the negative expressions in this question. Let's move on, another example. So there's a question asked here and the other person answered like we both, like going for walks and eating out. So both word is important here. So let's look at the options. How often do you meet? The question is not about asking the frequency of the actions. So it cannot be the answer. What do you have in common? Okay, yeah. Here we are asked to tell something about that we share. And the other option, what are you doing? Okay, we're not talking about what am I or what they are doing now. So, and the last option, do you like outdoor activities? Come on, there is nothing related to the outdoor activities here. So, be careful. So, the answer is what do you have in common? So, as you can see in the answer, we both. That means we share, okay? Going for walks or eating out. The clear word is here, both. And the last example, so we can understand from the text. Where is the text? The text is here, okay? So we can understand from the text that Mark Twain and Nikola Tesla. So you should read the text here carefully, and you should answer this question according to the text above. So let's look at the text. So, do you know Mark Twain and Nikola Tesla? I'm sure you do. Mark Twain wrote many books and Nikola Tesla was a famous scientist. And they met in New York in 1880s. So they spent a lot of time together and they shared a lot of ideas. So when they were in different countries, they wrote letters to each other to keep in touch. So Tesla loved Twain's books and Twain respected Tesla's scientific work. And Tesla invited Twain to his lab for a special day when he conducted an important experiment. Now, we have read the text. Now, look at the options now. Had the same job. Look at the text. Did Mark Twain and Nikola Tesla have the same job? No. Mark Twain was an author and Nikola Tesla was a scientist. So this cannot be the answer. What about option B? We're good friends. Yeah, they are good friends actually because they spend a lot of time together. If you have a good friend, so you want to spend a lot of time with him or her. Keep the option B in mind. And usually argued? No, there's no sign of an argument in the text. And rarely met? No. Whenever they find time, they wanted to meet together. So the answer is here B. They were good friends. So as I said before, we have got some clues, spending a lot of time together, and these were the qualities of the best friends. Okay guys, we have finished up with the first unit, and now we are going to move on with unit 2, teen life. Okay, let's start with the meaning of teen. What is teen? Okay, yeah, it is here. Teenager. What is teenager? Teenager is a young person between the ages of 13 to 19 years old. So let's remember, the numbers were 13, 14, 15, and 16, and it goes on like this. So teenager is a young person who is between the ages of 13 to 19 years old. And as you can see, you are all teens, and teenagers have their own world. So what do? For example, they like doing different activities, okay? You like trying different activities. And they have their dislikes and likes. And they have their routines, daily routines. And they have their opinions, the ideas about the world. So, in the vocabulary point, we can come up with 3 different titles. The activities they like doing here, you can say, okay, doing karate, playing tennis, skydiving, camping, training, playing soccer or archery, or saving money, do you say? Or trying, yeah, you like trying new things, but be careful. Okay, setting goals, this is dreaming about your future. And slumber party, in other words, slumber party is a pajamas party or sleepover, carry this. And hang out with friends. This is the best activity that you like, hanging out with friends. And you can also see some words related to the likes and the dislikes. For example, keen on, that means I like doing something. I'm keen on, for example, swimming. Or I am fond of swimming, that means I like swimming. Or I'm interested in swimming, that means I like swimming again. And I prefer, this is my preference, my choice. I prefer swimming, for example. Boring, you all know boring. For example, the English lessons are boring. Yeah? Or unbearable, or I can't stand. That means you hate something. For example, rock music is unbearable. What it means? So it means I hate rock music, okay? I can't stand it. And ridiculous, that means sounds comic or funny. Exciting, interesting, terrific, impressive, these are the positive adjectives. And the other structures, so these words are all related with the music types. For example, techno, heavy metal, jazz, folk music. Or we are talking about cultural heritage. What is cultural heritage? These are the historical and important features of a culture that are left for the young generations. And accept, saying yes. Refuse, saying no. And give an excuse. For example, if you refuse an invitation, you should explain its reason. Giving an excuse means telling the reason of your not accepting an invitation. And the traditional are all about a culture. So, we have also some useful expressions in this unit. For example, what's up? What's up is not an application here. Okay, what's up means how are you? How is it going? Or how often do you? This question is important because it's asking the frequency of the action that you do regularly. Which one? What do you prefer? In this question, you are asked for your preferences. So we use the structure of I prefer. Be careful, here in this sentence, we keep the things we most closer to ourselves. So you are choosing something according to your likes or dislikes. And these items are used when you talk about your own ideas. For example, I think, that means in my opinion, or in other words, to me, or according to me. That is really or extremely relaxing, dull, boring, so you can use whatever adjective you want. And I find it quite trendy. Trendy means fashionable. For example, nowadays using some soap, washing your hands and protecting yourself is a kind of trendy things nowadays. And to be honest means to tell the truth, okay? So we also use these structures like I believe, while we are talking about our own ideas. So let's look at some examples. Would you like to come to a comic book festival? You know, I am crazy about comic books. Be careful, guys. There is a very important structure here. I am crazy about. It means I love it. So keep this feature in mind. Are you kidding? Yeah, this option can be possible, but keep it in mind again. Let's move on. I don't think so. It's a negative answer, so it's not related to our question. And I prefer historic books to comic books. That means you love historic books. But here in the answer, you say, I love comic books, okay? Just this option is the opposite of the answer given here. Why don't we go somewhere else? Okay, we're not talking about going anywhere else, okay? We are talking about going to a comic book festival. So in this question, the answer is A. So that is a clue, the crazy about, okay? That means love. And one another example, do you prefer going camping or going trekking? Actually, this is not a yes-no question, okay? Mind this, because it's important. You are asked to choose one of the options. Do you prefer going camping or going trekking? So you should give an answer according to this question. For example, yes, I prefer trekking. I'm not asking you a yes-no question. So sure, count me in, but for which one? Going trekking or going camping? I am not a nature person. So that means I am not interested in both activities. So keep it in mind, option C, and let's go camping. Come on. Okay, I'm just asking which one do you prefer? So in this question, the answer is C, I'm not a nature person. Sorry, I'm not interested in both activities. And the last example of this unit is, I'd like to try snow tubing because. So in this question, we are looking for a reason. Why do you like or why do you want to try snow tubing? So it is ridiculous. If something is funny, you don't want to try it, I think. I can't stand it. It means I hate snow tubing. So why would you like to try it? No. I think it's terrific. Terrific means wonderful. So this is a positive feature. This can be. And having fun? Yeah, it can be, but there is no subject after because we need actually a full sentence. So in this question, the answer is, I think it is terrific.